Hello, greetings. Hello to everyone out there in YouTube land. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Today's video is about manifestation. This is some encouragement for your manifestation journey. So, I was just talking to my sister on the phone. We're talking about different things related to manifestation. And then towards the end of the telephone call, I started trying to be encouraging. And I ended up completely encouraging myself. I got off the phone and I was like, wow, I feel really good about what I can manifest. So I wanted to share a little bit about that with you through this video. So the idea is that even if you can't see what's up ahead, if what you're manifesting is around the bend, you can't see it yet, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Because when I think about my life at different points, there's things I really wanted and they did end up happening. And I felt like I was so determined and I didn't think realistically the different things were going to happen, and it still worked out. So some major times that this happened were, I don't know, so I guess the general idea that I could share with you is just to think about every single thing you've accomplished, whether it's something in your personal life or professionally or any type of interest or goal, anything at all that you have accomplished. You really need to change your perception into a one of accomplishment. And sometimes what I do is I accidentally think about all the things that have gone wrong, and obviously that really holds me back. So here's a short timeline. You can do your own timeline for your life. So in 2001, I got really sick with a mental illness, and it was terrible, right? But I ended up being able to get back on my feet, with like medical help and therapy and stuff like that. Ultimately, I have been able to create everything I want in my life despite having this enormous setback that started in 2001. So this one major accomplishment. Another major accomplishment is that even though I was like fighting all this stuff in my personal life, I still graduated from college. I was supposed to graduate from college at the beginning of 2004. So like summer 2004 is if I had been on track for how old I was, like when I graduated from high school. But instead, I graduated from college December 2006. But like everything I went through, it ended up being more of a personal accomplishment than an academic accomplishment. And then the biggest thing that I'm thinking about right now is that when I was living alone and I was by myself, 2006 and 2007, right? I was so determined to have the lifestyle that I do now. Like right now I'm happily married and I have the ability to pursue all of my interests as my career, and that's what I really wanted. But I couldn't see it happening. Realistically, I was like, my life has been really difficult in different ways the past few years. So I felt like I was so determined to meet Joey and transform my life in different ways so that I had the good stability in my personal life to create what I want in the future. But then 2006, 2007, it didn't seem like it was going to be possible. But what I did is I threw myself into my interests and passions. I did a little bit of online dating, like some, in public places I would go to dinner with someone. And then finally I met Joey because of my interest in music. He and I each were in a band separately, and then we each joined a second band. And that's where we met, is this band that formed because we were musicians. And that was at the very beginning of 2008. I was going to say something funny. I was like, that's how you know you're single, is when you're joining like multiple bands. You're like working, joining bands, getting out there, doing every single thing you can possibly think of. And it's really hard. I'm sure it's even harder now in some ways with the pandemic. Different things, like it can be stressful personally, or you're trying to create the life you want. So my main idea with all of this, that was my timeline. My main idea is to show that like your lifestyle and your life can transform over a few years, and you can't always see it. It doesn't seem realistic at first whatsoever, but you've got to have that like sheer determination. And a lot of people are into different types of manifestation techniques, which in a lot of ways probably work. But the thing that worked for me when I didn't even know about the idea of manifestation was just this like focused determination, and then following that up with action steps. I didn't sit at home by myself. That was just too sad and depressing at that time, because I wasn't mature enough to be able to create the home that I wanted on my own. Like, I really admire that people can create the life they want as a single person, going on a solo journey. But I couldn't do that because I didn't have the emotional maturity at that age, my mid-20s. I just didn't have it. So I knew that I needed to meet my soulmate, who is Joey. I really needed to meet him so I would have that breath. I could take that breath and have a chance to kind of redeem my life and transform it in the way that is important and meaningful to me. So the next thing I'm looking to do is to create a prosperous and successful spiritual business, and that's the path that I'm on now. So sometimes it seems like, it's interesting. The question that comes to mind for me right now is like, is that really what I want? And that's strange, because I think that means I don't have enough clarity. Clarity is really important for your goals. I think it is really what I want. I can tell I have some resistance, some like layers of resistance to that idea there. That's something I need to journal about. Just get really clear with myself. Like, yes, this is what I want, is my prosperity, my ability to keep creating the lifestyle that I want for myself and for me and Joey together. So these are my thoughts. So I would, like I already said, I would recommend doing a brief timeline with yourself for what's happened in your life, and give yourself credit for every single transformation and every single time that you were able to get through something that was challenging, or just simply have an accomplishment that you set out to do. And like I said, it can be personally or professionally or anything else, like a health goal or anything at all, really. Like moving to a new place, being able to establish yourself and meet new people in a new city or something like that. There's lots of different things it could be. So once you feel that sense of accomplishment, you realize that you don't have to hold yourself back anymore. So that's the stage that I'm at, is letting go of holding myself back. I've really been putting on the brakes because, I don't know, I'm really satisfied with my life. I have a song about this. So like in the years 2006 and 2007, I fought my butt off for myself, right? I did so much for myself because I was in a bad situation. I didn't have the emotional support I needed. I was like running on empty, right? And I did it. I was able to be social enough despite overcoming mental illness challenges. I was able to do it, right? And it was amazing. The point that I'm making is that there's times in your life that you just fight for yourself because you have to be that determined, because you don't have any other, you have no other alternative. You just fight for yourself and you get to where you need to go because you don't have anything. It's not just a risk. It's like you have nothing else to do, so you fight for yourself. So compare that with feeling satisfied with life in many ways already. So when I'm very satisfied, I feel very comfortable, I have the emotional support I need, I'm able to enjoy life now. I went from survival mode to being able to thrive. So my challenge is to keep growing as a person even when I'm completely satisfied with my life. there's still goals I want to achieve, but obviously I don't have that sheer survival determination, and that was what got me from like being isolated to being able to meet my soulmate and create the life that I really want. So hopefully there are things that can keep us focused and determined, even if we're in a good stage of life, just to keep building and keep growing and creating the really positive lifestyle transformations that we want. So this is my take today on manifestation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you try that idea about looking at your life path and seeing when you accomplish things, and kind of looking at like how did that work for you, and how does your situation now compare to that time. And there's so much else to talk about with manifestation. This is obviously just scratching the surface, so I look forward to making more videos. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.